Disclaimer before the video actually starts. As you can tell, this is the first video of this channel, and also the first time I've ever worked in a project like this. So I have some things to apologize for, such as the microphone pops during the video and the fact my English isn't so good. But in order to help you understand, I'll leave subtitles in this video, so just enable them if you need. I hope you all enjoy the video. Hello everyone, this is Etherns from Frontier Guides, and today I greet you into a video about the fantastic frontier Iceberg. So, by this time you probably know what an iceberg is, or at least can understand how it works. For some summarizing, it can be done for any kind of media, such as TV shows or music bands, though it's most popular around the gaming culture, where it was popularized. Basically, it's divided by layers containing references to the media portrayed, so the deeper it is, the more unknown/obscure this reference is. In this specific case, I didn't really follow that line, but rather separated it in 5 categories, representing how deep is the player's relation to the game, and therefore his knowledge about it, and what he relates to. My wording on this explanation might not be the best, but you might certainly get the idea as I go on with the explanation. Some icebergs are more focused on theories rather than references about the practical gameplay, and although Fantastic Frontier is a game really open to theories, it doesn't seem to be an area much explored by the community. It's a Roblox game after all. Either way, I got to sneak some theories in, which I'll explain as the video goes on. If you don't know already, I made this iceberg by myself, and I'll be focusing on explaining every single topic mentioned one by one. If by any chance you fell into this video and don't know what Fantastic Frontier is, you should give it a try if you're a Roblox player or a fan of adventure games. And for a last disclaimer, some of the information in this video might be outdated depending on when you're seeing it. And also I wanted to rework some topics I wrote, because I ended up writing some unnecessary stuff. But as this was the original iceberg, I'd rather keep in its original form for this video. Without further ado, let's get right into the explanation. Spider Stilts grind. Spider Stilts are usually the first item players take considerable time to grind for, as it's a really good item that some players skip even when they're endgame. Also, Spider Balls is usually the first money making method players try once they get a gun or a spellbook. Granny Fields Quest. It's a quest that new players often do to get a free weapon that doesn't really help much, and 4 extra gardening plots that come in handy at late game. Watch this Fantastic Frontier content on YouTube. Of course, if you're new to a game you wanna learn about it, so what a better way than watching YouTube videos? Of course we have the wiki and the Discord server, but videos seem to be more practical and easier to understand. Wiki discussion board. A place nobody really posts anything important. It has a great purpose, but not much people seem to be interested. Celestial Fields statues. Celestial Fields is a place commonly visited by new players, especially because farming flowers there provide easy money for early game. There are noticeable oddities in the middle of the fields that seem to be statues spreading across this rock. Nobody really knows what they refer to, although it's something every player wonders the first time they see it. Why do ghosts have pepperoni? Every player has wondered about this when they first saw it. Apparently it's some kind of reference to Ghostbusters, but when I searched for it I couldn't really find anything about it. Uses the crafting system. I guess it's so useless that even new players don't try it. It's in fact just an ignored and forgettable feature that could be reworked maybe? Tries to get the frog badge. When you first see there's a single badge in the game and only one person has it, of course you'd be intrigued about how to get it. Though it's apparently just a test badge made for a supposedly scrapped content, which is the running frog mob that would work just as a running man. Maybe we'll see this in future updates. Dennis Reynolds Easter egg. It's something most players stumble across while casually exploring the map. It doesn't seem to have any purpose to the game besides being an Easter egg that portrays the character Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Fantastic Frontier soundtrack playlist. Basically, after 5 minutes of playing this game, you're like, whoa, this background music is really good, it's such a great ambience. Is there a playlist with the full soundtrack? And turns out there actually is. Carries nightmare keys everywhere. This is something a lot of mid-game players do. Even though keys occupy a considerable part of the inventory, they just don't seem to care about it, taking all the nightmare keys along with them during adventures around the frontier. Run for the hills. No fog glitch. This glitch dates back to the fishing update, when most people discovered it unintentionally and it was so much easier to do. The previous way to do it was patched, but currently there's another way that's most likely also getting patched in the next update. We hope to find another. Fantastic Frontiers subreddit. Do people even know this exists? Reads update logs in dev forum. I guess that's what most people do once a new update comes. I don't know, it's been such a long time. Rising stars spawn in the top of Celestial Peak's rock. In the Celestial Peak, there's this huge rock formation that used to be a pain to get to the top without wings. As it's really high up to the sky, it was theorized that the Rising Star mushroom could spawn there, and after around 8 months, this theory was confirmed by wiki user Ted the Great. Twitter creations. There are a lot of amazing fan-made content for this game, and a considerable amount is found on Twitter. These guys do a really good job, so I leave some of their usernames in the description if you want to check them. Also, if you're a graphic artist or a builder that I didn't mention, feel free to message me so I can list your name. Minion Bad emote. The most generic and overused joke that people from this community have been repeatedly using for the past years. Farms 10 fish with RBY. For some reason RBY sells 10 fish for 8 gold each, while it can be resold for 100 gold. It's technically an infinite money farm, but it's so rare to see him selling it, and even if you took an entire in-game day of just reselling, it wouldn't give much more than casual farming methods. Xenophobia in public servers. I'm Brazilian, so that kinda says by itself. Why can't Roblox players just let people speak their own language? I mean, in what way does it bother anyone? Awaken Rat Boy Theory. A famous theory which implies that at some point the giant rat boy will wake up. This is highly reinforced by the recent change in the loading screen, where the rat boy doll that was previously laying down is now seen sitting by the statue. We are told by the rat folk guarding the giant rat boy that his awakening is gonna bring peace to his land, though if it wakes up prematurely that could be severe consequence for the frontier. We may see him waking up, however nobody really knows what will be the consequences of this. Sandwich crystals are ores. A theory a lot of people had about the sandwich teaser that displays 6 odd looking crystals around it if you change the image properties. Spoiler alert, funny enough, it's apparently right. Place Loot Box. It's a minigame that you can play using a bot in the FF Discord server. I have no clue on how it works, but some people actually play it constantly. Out accounts in different classes. Once you keep playing with the same class for some time, it kinda gets boring, so in order to try something new, it just feels more fun to start the game from the beginning. I guess people feel like this. Actually plays PvP. There is a PvP arena in the game that most players don't give a shit about, but it turns out there are actually PvP tournaments and people who dedicate time creating good PvP builds. Plays with Reshade. Makes the game look clean! Heaven Dimension Theories. There is a known theory regarding the existence of a Heaven Dimension in the game universe. It's reinforced by this dialogue with the giant rat folk where it says, "You see, for every nightmare there's a dreamer. In fact, you've come from his land, haven't you?" As we know, the player falls from the sky when the game begins, and the giant rat boy is also stated to have fallen from the sky in the dialogue with the guard captain. So considering the rat folk was referring to the sleeping rat boy as it seems, we can deduce there is something in the sky of the frontier, and in fact, it's something a lot speculated for the next update and also reinforced by the awakened rat boy theory. Guns are the protagonist. This is more like a joke topic, but have you ever realized how goons are everywhere? It's kinda like rat boys, though they seem to be overshadowed in the game lore. Frogstan. Who doesn't love these little amphibians? And the game only feels that love. Fighting Zemokan at Pitfall. Pitfall orbs uncommonly spawn in the Nightmare Dimension at various determined spots. Most notably, there's a chance that it leads you to a power lamp room where you can get the power lamp item. But usually it leads you to a small arena where you can fight a determined mob, and there's a chance for this mob to be Demokan. Just imagine how chaotic it would be to take 15 minutes just to drop a concentration cube. Duping Glitch Abuser. There used to be a glitch where you could duplicate any stackable items and get billions of gold in seconds. It was patched as soon as discovered, thankfully. Old Minute Sim. Honoring Blade Glitch Abuser. Another really abusive glitch was the Honoring Blade glitch, that made you able to kill every single mob in the game only with the touch of your sword. It was also patched thankfully, although it took a lot of time and many people could abuse it. Spectra Dev Forum posts. The only place Spectra seems to be active. He often posts questions about issues with Roblox Studio, but nothing that really gives us any information on new updates. Server hopping for Magic Fox Headdress and Oculus. Two items that are ridiculously hard to get, because the only way to get them is by specific shopkeepers in really low chances. So not many players even know they exist. Still more known than Contrablade though. Survives a Boomer attack. The most damage a single attack can deal, if I'm not mistaken, so it takes some considerable grind to get the equipment you need to survive it. Odd items from Interdimensional Traveler. Ah yes, this guy who travels through dimensions only to give you an apple, but indeed he gives you some great stuff in rare occasions. I wonder where did he get this mask. Running Man as SpongeBob teaser. Well, I don't even know what to say about this one, but this was shown before the game was even released and the SpongeBob has the same model of a Running Man, which was only used 1 year later in the release of the Nightmare update. 10-player servers. For a brief period of time after the phishing update, the devs tested how 10-player servers would work. They ended up being really laggy, so they stick at 7 players. It was 5 before, so I guess that helped. Otherworldly Tower speedruns. A lot of players enjoy speedrunning, so they try to do whatever this game provides in the quickest way possible. And the best opportunity for speedrunning is of course the Otherworld Tower. In fact, I recently applied a submission to speedrun.com for them to accept it as a speedrun category with leaderboards, but as of now I haven't received any response. Old Tin Toy is the old friend. The old friend is mentioned in some items description, most notably the gift word and the monstrous visage. Nobody really knows who he is, but some theorize it refers to the old Tin Toy. Strangeman is Mr. 58. This is one of the oldest Fantastic Frontier theories, and it kinda makes sense, I guess. It isn't necessarily true, but doesn't seem to be a coincidence. Fantastic Frontier info spreadsheet. Basically, there's a spreadsheet containing a lot of information about the game and the items, which include really useful information such as fish percentages and all the Bob drops. From what I've been told, this information were leaked by exploiters, so we're not really supposed to know them, but as of now they're getting more known each day. Delhi is a real place. There's a theory regarding that Delhi is based off a real place. I mean, it would make sense for Spectre to get inspiration from real places, as the deli should portray a normal restaurant, of course with all its oddities. Indeed, there's a cafe that looks really suspicious near my city, but I don't think they'll get inspiration from a random cafe in a Brazilian airport. AFK Clown Farm. Basically, flying clowns have a 1% chance of each pie they throw becoming a gift fruit that instantly opens for some reason. And a non-farm method is to get really defensive setup with great amount of regeneration to just stay still while a clown attacks you, waiting for an item to come. In fact, it's a method used for some people to get the Extinction Bank or the minion. Ticket Quest. It's a quest this guy in the upper part of the theater gives you. Basically, you need to get 100 tickets and exchange them for a pretty meh armor set. You would only ever want to do if you are completionist or if you want to direct set for vanity purposes, because it takes some considerable amount of time and could be frustrating because farming in the theater is just chaotic. Right and Wrong Clothing Shop. There's a door in the town of Right and Wrong where an NPC tells you that the shops aren't opening up yet. As you can see some mannequins around there, pretty much everyone believes it's gonna be a clothing shop, though it has been around for a while now and Spectre never really mentioned it. Checks every single door in the towns. Have you ever noticed how many seemingly useless doors there are in the towns, and even in other places around the map? It just feels like they have a secret to be told. What's inside them? Carrot Juice strategies. Carrot Juice is the most overpowered item in this game, and I tell that with less than 10,000 gold you can buy enough to just slam circles in a single wave of rockets. This thing is just amazing and it's really cheap. Nightmare is a part of the frontier. There's a theory regarding the Nightmare is actually a part of the frontier, and it's just a place corrupted by the Journeyman and or the circus. This is mostly based off the fact that there are frontier creatures and actual humans inhabiting there, seemingly living a normal life. Storage for FF. As I told before, an exploiter once leaked pretty much all the FF meshes, the calls, item stats, and other useful information. And storage for FF is the account that stores all the meshes. Data all Guttermouth dungeons. Nobody really cares much about Guttermouth dungeons, as they usually take more time to do than Lost and most of the times give even worse drops. Even I only ever did the easier one, because in the end I was gonna get an emerald. Anyway, they're nice to do as a challenge, though they could give some better rewards considering how hard it is to get the keys and find them. Got every single Path Gambler drop. The Path Gambler is the mob with the most different drops in the game, and people with Falling Light most likely spend a lot of time grinding for a trophy, to the time that they've gotten all the Path Gambler drops. Saw every mob in the game. That kinda says by itself, there are some really hard to find mobs that includes Bird of course, so only a few people have ever seen all the mobs in the game. Old Tin Toy did nothing wrong. Old Tin Toy is initially regarded as a supporting character who tries to help the player by warding the bad intentions of the Journeyman. However, later Journeyman gives you the Dark Marble and supposedly tells you he can hear Old Tin Toy logging at you both, making you think that he tricked you. And when you open the vault, Tin Toy himself says you are tricked and the nightmare power in fact started growing. Though it's theorized that he did that for the Frontier's good, making the giant rat boy not wake up before he should. It's a bit of a controversy among the community, however the main theory just agrees with what was stated in the game dialogues regarding the old Tin Toy as a villain. Buys the Roblox toys. Yes, there are toys for this game. And I honestly would love to buy them, but they cost 1/5 of a minimum wage in my country, so yeah, it will take some time for me to spend this money on Roblox toys. 200 plus Slayer/Toad tasks done. Most players just do enough tasks to get the expert ones, and then only do tasks that they consider useful or profitable. However, if you are manic enough, you can get to this point. Checks all paintings around the map. Have you ever noticed how many paintings there are in this game? And not only at buildings, but in all places, even rabbit hole. So if you are touristic kind enough, these are the ones you'll be looking for to try to find any correlation with the game lore. I once took some time for this, but realized it probably wasn't worth it. Kill Scoutman. One of the rarest mobs in the game, and by a lot of players, but of course some chads have enough balls to mercilessly kill it. Glass Cannon melee set. Mad respect for those who try something like this, because you need a lot of skill, a good PC, and not a Brazilian ping. Plays the original soundtrack games. As I previously told, this game has a nice soundtrack, though pretty much all of the music is in original but taken from other games. Some are known games such as Rayman, but also some really obscure and unknown games. If you like the soundtrack enough, I wouldn't judge you for trying some of these obscure games. Creation Contest Resuit. This is the most obscure one because nobody knows it. Actually, while I was editing this video, the result went public, so I guess that topic doesn't make sense anymore. Dark Gnome dialogues changing. Apparently this NPC briefly changes its dialogues every update. Well, I got this info from 2Quick, but never really saw anyone else notice it. Neither this fact is stated on the wiki, but well, why would he just come up with this? 100 plus hours of grinding for a single item. All completionists with Top Hat or Falling Light have most likely been through this. There's always one item that seems to be impossible to get no matter how much you grind for it. I guess this game is all about RNG after all. Listens to Journeyman songs. Cosmask Grind. The most painful of them all. The one which takes months of stopless work, ages of pain and grinding. At least for some people, cause as I said, it's all about RNG. Makes a Roblox game Iceberg. I need to say no more about this. So at last I wanna apologize again for all the issues I told in the beginning. Please comment about what I could improve for the next video so Frontier Guides keeps getting better as it brings new content. This video took a total of 1 month to be made, though half of it was made within 27 days and the second half in the last 3 days. Yeah, I procrastinated a lot. I scripted and edited it alone, but it wouldn't be possible without some people, so I wanna close the video crediting everyone who helped. Many thanks to everyone who created and edited the wiki articles, my friends in the Frontier Hub Discord server, the people who provided some footage which I credited when they were shown, Spectrobox and Gorbacelli for creating this amazing game, and Dice, who's a great friend of mine, an amazing person and my partner in this channel. Thank you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Goodbye!